Assalamu alaikum. Welcome, bro. Abuamerican.
Walaikum
You know,
salam.
I gotta come up with some sort of intro for like the syndicate or something like some
Yeah.
sort of like what's the syndicate? Boom. No, so maybe not that. That'd be kind of cheesy,
Like a
but
bit.
you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Everything, bro. You've been like just handling business real world.
yeah, I've been traveling. I'm just glad to be back. I've got the kid due here in like 12 days or something like that, 12, 13 days. So,
Nice, mashallah. It's your first kid?
correct. First kid.
Nice. Yeah, I've got number 10. I've got number 10 coming up in was it June, July? Yeah,
That's wild,
mashallah.
man. I hope to do that one day. I need to have 20.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Inshallah. Yeah, man. We were just talking in the back room about travel, and everybody likes talking about travel, whatever else. And it's like you were just saying, it's like travel is like something of a burden, man. When you really start to do it, and I agree. I
Yeah, and the
mean, I've been
airports,
to
they don't exactly make things easy. Like, for example, when I was traveling, I show up and they ask for uh even though I don't even need it, asking for a vaccine card and this form that basically is like, do you have corona? Yes or no? Like, who actually checks on that? Like, yes, I've had symptoms. I don't think anybody's ever done that. So what's the point? All because I
yeah, it's
wanted to
kind of
check a
crazy.
bag because I
Yeah.
was traveling for like 2 weeks. I'm just glad to be back.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I've been to like 50 countries, bro, and it's not fun anymore. It's simply not fun to travel anymore. I don't know what the whole thing is. It's not really my thing.
No.
But yeah, I mean, people just they want to wander around. I'm here to tell y'all, and I'm like to tell you also. It's just not. It's not it. It's not. Maybe the first couple countries you see something like totally new and something amazing, but really otherwise it's kind of like it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm to the point where I don't want to go somewhere unless I'm staying there for at least like a month or two. Like going
That makes sense. Yeah,
traveling somewhere and staying for 2, 3 days has zero appeal to me whatsoever.
yeah, yeah. It's more work than it's worth to actually get there and all that type of stuff. It's no fun.
Yeah.
We chatting it up, letting some people come in. But our topic today, we have some questions from the syndicate, so we're of course going to prioritize and deal with those questions from the brothers in the syndicate first. But after we cover our main topic, which is basically dudes just I'm gonna explain it the way I see it. Maybe you could break it down the way you see it. I see it like this: dudes, dudes nowadays are like women. Men of today are like women of the past. They just want to come into a ready-made situation. They don't want to do anything. Rich Cooper, he always says, women wait at the finish line so that they can get with the winner. That's what it's like dudes want nowadays. Dudes want everything done for them, and then to just show up into like this ready-made situation and just capitalize off of everybody else's work. And it's
Yeah.
such a just a feminized mentality and behavior that I'm not really sure how else to describe it.
I see that in other groups as well, coming in on literally within the first hour. Okay, I'm here. When do I get rich? Like, hi,
Yeah.
you want to learn a little bit? It's just everybody, I said earlier, everybody wants a like Swiss Army knife for life. Like, just
Yeah.
go here, ask one question. Oh, here's how you do it. Even if you provide that, then they still won't do it. So it's
No.
like, how do you light a fire under people if nobody's going to do anything?
It's a good question, and I don't know the answer. And I'll tell you guys what inspired this. It's actually Syndicate. Now, respect and prop to all our brothers there at Syndicate, but what I find is there's a mixed demographic, and the primary demographic are we literally call these dudes the lurkers. And a lot of these dudes have questions, they want stuff, or people who come in and then they leave again because they find what they're looking for. And it's like everything you want is there with the ability to actually, network money. And we literally, Abu Malik and I, we provide everybody with that space and the resource to actually try and make money. But who's taking advantage of it? The only person who's actually capitalized on it so far in a big way is Matthew Tijani. You know,
Mm-hmm.
now everybody's like, okay, what now? I'm here. Like you said, like now, whoa, what's this? And it's like, I like that how you said this cookie cutter. It's like guys when they want to learn game. Give me a line I can say. And it's like in his mind, if you give him that one line, this girl's gonna fall in love with him and marry him,
Yeah.
and stay
Yeah, some
happily married
catch-all
ever after.
one-liner. Yeah,
Yeah,
some sort of
exactly.
magic spell you can just
Because he's
cast on people.
yeah, exactly. And it's just really nobody wants to do any work anymore. And it's like, and
Yeah.
it seems like I don't know what your observation is, but it seems like to me, it's like the more you try and help them, the more you give them in terms of help, the less likely they are to take action.
Yeah. There's
That's my
actually all the
perspective.
guys already in the group, and if you're not in the group, join it and then watch the movie 13th Warrior. And there's a scene in the movie where it's basically an Arab dude that goes up to these Nordic countries with Vikings, and he's hanging out, and they choose him to be this 13th warrior because they got to go check on like another tribe or something. And he doesn't know the language. And there's a scene where they're all sitting around a campfire, and he's slowly learning what they're talking about, and he starts speaking their language, and they're captivated and saying like, how do you know our language, blah 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 blah. He just says, because I listened. And that's what you should do when you go into these groups, is go in, stay quiet for a couple months, observe, learn, and then start acting. Then you start talking and dropping receipts. Don't come in and just start asking people, oh, how do I do this, how do I do that? It's fine to ask questions, but
Yeah, people aren't even willing to do the research on what's already there,
yeah,
And so
come to
the
me
thing
with
is,
what you've already done already,
yeah,
what you think the best solution is. Not
but
just, hey,
that's
this is my situation, what do I do?
that's the thing though. Like what happens is guys show up and they expect some sort of ready-made cookie cutter, some sort of plan just laid out for them, and I just got to come in and I ain't even got to spend $1. I just come in and the money's going to start pouring in because I showed up on it. And this is a real problem. This is a real like mindset problem that brothers really need to work on and they really need to fix.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you what we did is this in the syndicate. We gave everyone an opportunity to actually make money. What you have to do, you have to be a marketer. Marketing, no matter what business you do, you're going to have to come down to marketing. If you're doing business to business, if you're doing business to client, customer, no matter what you do, if you're in the service industry, if you're in manufacturing, producing, you need to have sales ability in order to be successful. Name me a business that doesn't require clients. I don't think you can. So what we did was we made it so it's like if you can get an affiliate link, a unique one, and then you can like get 50% of whatever the person who joins on your affiliate link earns. So it was $10 back in the past. So if you got one person in, you made $5. If you got two people in, you got $10, you're in the room free. You get three people, you're making $15 a month, and we're paying you to be in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's taking advantage of it except like two or three people, maybe two. I think it's two people.
I think a lot of people are thinking
What else can we do to help people?
a lot of people are thinking about it the wrong way because they're thinking too small. Think more like you get 1,000 people in, then that replaces your job, and you can focus on other things, whatever those things you want to focus on are. If it's
For sure.
creating your own business, if you don't already have one, schooling, studies, whatever. I mean, I myself, I'm like working on a postgraduate certificate in Islamic studies so I can get a master's in it. That's what I've been doing all week, catching up because I was traveling, so
Yeah,
I'm 2
mashallah.
weeks behind. So hopefully I'll be done tomorrow. But point being is that take advantage of that ability to create time for yourself so that you can do other things. What are you going to accomplish as a man if something is just sucking up basically all of your time and you don't have time to do other things?
Yeah. And it's interesting, like you said, people aren't thinking on scale. And here's another thing, and I understand because a lot of people, they just, the idea, they're like, oh, okay, well, I'm paying him. I don't like the idea that he's going to make money while I go out and do some work. And then, but what they're not thinking is you and I are partners, right? So half of the affiliate price goes to them, and then you and I are splitting the affiliate price that's left over from that half. It's like you literally come in and make more than both of us. You see, but
Yeah.
people, man, they're small-minded. They're just so. Some people are just spiteful, and they end up
And
spiting themselves.
some people will say that and then go to a job where they're working for somebody else. I
Yeah,
know all these guys aren't working for themselves and have their own businesses.
guys, nobody. Let me tell you something. When it comes to women, when it comes to money, when it comes to anything, nobody except your parents are gonna spoon feed you anything. They can't spoon them unless like you come from one of them deep cultures. And even then, you still gotta fix yourself. You still gotta have money to take care of a family. You still gotta do your part. So, I'm really tired of like this mentality that I'm seeing where guys literally are acting like women. Guys, listen to me. You are the ones who build. You are the ones who construct. You are the ones who actually put things together. They've been like that, but then different in history. It's a modern thing, I know, or little gold diggers, this, that, the other. What is a woman supposed to be? She's supposed to be an idiot and live with a broke guy? You gonna do that to your sister? You gonna do that to your mom or your aunt? You're not. So kudos to Andrew Tate for that one because I got it from him. So it's like don't expect anything different for you. This is what they want. They want successful men, and you should want to be successful, not just for women, just for yourself. But that always requires work. And
Yeah,
so
and
it's weird to like watch
those
guys
same
actually
types of
just
guys are gonna complain about not being able to find a wife or whatever. It's like,
oh my.
what do you expect, man? Like, what are you bringing to the table? Literally ask yourself, what are you bringing to the table? And if you can't think of anything, then you have something to work on.
Yeah, well, I think that's what it is. I think the issue is a lot of guys bring just like sort of like women, like expectations. They have a lot of expectations of what they're supposed to get, but they're not actually thinking like, what am I going to do for myself? And when someone lays stuff out for you and say, hey, look, boom, this is now all you got to do. The framework is there to make the money. Now all you got to do is go out and like show a little bit of drive and initiative, and it'll come in. What do they do? They
Not
sit
only
around
is the
talking about women that
framework
they
there,
can't.
but all the resources are there. Like
Absolutely.
how many creators do we have, including myself and you would
And we got
be
a bunch. I got other brothers asking me for creator stuff. I even had time to make their channels. I got like content creators channels there. Got brothers there that are like a brother that'll help you make Hydra. He's got a whole business based on Hydra. Got real estate brothers in different countries, from Bahrain to Turkey to Malaysia. We got like, we got your options section there. You know what I mean? We got dudes that can help dudes with anything, almost anything they're looking for. And it's like, if you got a talent, you got a skill, let us know. We'll hook you up. Come there, pitch your, if you're a businessman, if you're a budding businessman, we'll give you a platform to pitch your stuff. How many people actually come and do it? I don't understand, man.
it's like women,
And
they
here's the
just want to
thing: a
complain.
lot of people feel, yeah, that's the time, complaining and whining. And here's another thing that's important that a lot of guys don't understand. Like one guy, he said to me, he's like, "Yo, I'm not joining your Discord. I'm not paying for something that I could do for free on social media." I was like, "Okay, go on social media." I said, "Go on social media and find yourself a troll-free, quality content posts only environment." I said, "Good luck." You don't find trolls in our circles. There's nothing there. We don't have crap posts there. We don't have trolls there. We don't have like people clogging up discussions with useless information. It's good quality.
Yeah, that's the whole point of that filter. Any troll can join a free group.
Exactly. Trolls are broke. So it's a
Yeah.
very nice way to keep people out of sorry guys, I'm like sweating, I'm melting in this place. To keep like, yeah, just low quality people and thus low quality content out of your face. And we scored, so I figure we should maybe look into these here. So we got one brother, he asked about like, what does he want to hear about? And he said he wants to hear about some journey of improving as you get older. What do you think, man? I can talk about that quite a bit. I could go up for an hour alone on that.
Yeah, I mean, self-discipline. I mean, create
Give me
a
a second.
it pays well to, even metaphorically, to go monk mode, as they call it. If you create a defined calendar. I did it myself. I don't usually keep a calendar. I have a calendar on my desk right here. I actually have two of them. Just to keep up with stuff. Like if it's in front of you all day, every day, then you're not going to get distracted. So that's like kind of my version of self-discipline that
Absolutely.
I'm working on right now, because I tend to um, procrastinate. So I'm trying not to. So Can't got a whole list of about 20 things, got things listed each day. I'm crossing them off. Just stuff that I got to do. I can't just put things off in perpetuity. So that's a big part of self-discipline. You got to wake up every day knowing that, like Andrew Tate says, you're starting from zero today. You wake up and you're broke. How are you going to make money today?
The rent is due every single
Yeah,
day.
exactly.
Yeah.
So a lot of
As
it's just
probably the oldest
mindset.
guy around here. Yeah, exactly. I want to say that. As the oldest guy around here, 50, I have to say that the biggest thing to self and myself is just you got to have like that constant, never take an L without it being a lesson also, and keep it pushing. What happens is that I noticed, and like, is a lot of guys, they'll take a hard L and then they'll completely shake their entire person to the point that they'll like, oh my God, and they'll freak out and they'll sort of back off of everything, go sit in the corner, whine, complain, sulk, and whatever else, And then after some time, sometimes they'll jump back on the horse. And usually when they do that, they're far more cautious than ever. But I'm like, yo, whatever you did to like, take that L, learn the lesson, but keep pushing as hard as you did before. Because a lot of times you find that what happens is people are pushing and pushing and pushing. They come to their limit and they think, okay, let me keep going. Let me see if this actually is my limit, which I think is a fine mentality. I think that's perfectly fine. But then when they hit that L zone, it shakes their self-confidence. And so either you fall off the horse, of course, we're talking about life here in general, and then it just completely rearranges the personality. Me, I'm like, yo, that drive that got you there, that made you think like, yo, I could probably do more. That's a lesson, man. So, a second time around, you've already got a lesson. There's 100% facts in like failing forward. Now, ideally, you don't fail. You take lessons from other people, but failures are 100% a lesson that improves you later. And it's kind of helped me in my position where I'm at right now. I've really shot up like this ladder at the company I'm at, and dude, I mean, I've taken so many L's in my life. It's the same thing with marriage. I've talked about that it's just kind of like now it's hard to get it wrong.
Yeah.
I'm like, this was lesson 427. I've seen this before. You don't want to do that, buddy. You know what I mean? And you just got to keep on taking those lessons. Everything, let me tell you guys, everything. If it's 1928, if you took some guy from 1928 who's 50 years old working his way through life and you put him in this day and age, sure, the computer technology and all that stuff is different, but the general lessons will always be the same. So, I mean, I would say it's just a matter of that self-improvement, and that discipline is like never letting yourself get knocked off the horse. It's a part of life. You can't. It's not. It doesn't. The sun doesn't shine every single day. You know what I mean? Some days it rains, and so cats just gotta like inculcate that into their personality. Like, okay, that was a part of the lesson. Anybody who's done competitive sports, and I think this is a problem with men today now. Also, they don't do competitive sports. They're not used to taking an L and hating that feeling to the point that you're like, you know what? I'm going to train harder, and I'm going to come back, and I'm going to win.
Mm-hmm.
My a personal lesson with Brazilian jiu-jitsu. There was this guy named Enyo. He was he was a like a global champion. And I came in, I was like, yo, I could fight, I could box, I could do this, that, the other. And I thought, like, I'm gonna come in here and dudes up. You know, I refused to tap to the point that like my elbow to this day, that's over like from his arm bar because I would not, because it's just arrogance and ego. To jiu-jitsu for like 6 months because it was just like an ego bust, just getting smashed by like fat dudes and little skinny guys. And I was like, you know what? There ain't no way I'm letting these little lame dudes beat me. I went back and I got like my black belt in like 4.5, 5 years. That's like that's really no, it was about 5 years, 5 to 6 years. Normally, a person who gets a black belt, he's considered like really aggressive at 8 years. I got it in like 6, dude. Mm-hmm. So I became the best. I competed in Abu Dhabi World Pro. You know what I mean? It's that mentality that's like you just can't quit. You can't let those defeats like throw you off. And I almost let that defeat throw me off in that particular regard. Type of stuff. Just don't quit. Don't quit. Sometimes you got to know when to quit. Obviously, that doesn't mean like you quit everything and just like, oh, who's me? And that's what too many guys do nowadays. They go around sulk. I'm black pill.
I guess this was the hand I was dealt.
You know, right?
Yeah, if you don't like something about your life,
I don't know if that answers the question, but I think that's
yeah.
I'm wondering happened.
You're breaking up really bad on me.
I mean, this has been covered already. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not really sure. It's this computer. I need to replace this computer. I think it just needs more memory, maybe. Let me lower. So he says, I'm 18. Specifically, what routine and habit, or I guess people have developed that have separated themselves from the pack? I find that there are so many things pulling me in different directions that I don't remain focused.
Yeah, you're breaking up pretty bad.
I guess he's saying, and I won't have the future I want.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of addressed in what we just talked about with the routines and habits. Like, create a routine for yourself. I would say, if you're able to, step one would be to move to an area, a city, country, whatever, town, in which you know that you're not going to have these crazy external distractions. That will help you develop a good routine. Especially if you have things around you. Like I just like living in cities. Like where I live, I can walk basically anywhere I need to go. So, and I rarely even leave my place anymore. But like, so having that ability, having everything right there, if you're able to do it, get that set up. And then you can set up a routine. Like when I first moved to this city, I had nothing in my apartment. Now I have a huge penthouse with a bunch of crap in it that I need to get rid of. But I had nothing in my apartment. I had a bed, like a table, or I had a bed, a desk, and my computer. And that was it. I had nothing else to do besides work. So when I wanted to take a break or whatever, I just walk down the street, go to a taco stand or something, go hang out for a little bit, come back. There was nothing to do besides that. So again, that was kind of not really going monk mode, but kind of like a version of it.
That does help, like keeping.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I kept that routine for probably a year, and that's when I started taking off too. I kind of want to do it again,
Yeah.
honestly, but
He
I'm
says, I
thinking
find
about
there's so many.
yeah. Go ahead.
Inshallah.
I find that there's so many things pulling me in different directions, and if I don't remain focused and productive, I won't have the future I want. That is correct. But you're always going to have things pulling you in different directions. As we grow older, it's not like women where oh
I might
yeah,
have.
there's people around that say, "Oh, we need to take care of her. She's getting old." Nobody's coming to save you. You're a man. People are going to care less and less about
Absolutely.
you the older you get.
I'm gonna try and switch the phone. My connection's really bad.
Yeah.
Give me a second. So yeah, I'm sorry. One thing, this thing is being difficult now. Sorry guys, I apologize.
18 also, that's a really young age, so naturally things are going to be pulling you in different directions. It
Yeah.
could be another decade before you feel like you're going in the right direction. I mean, personally myself, I've had throughout my life, I'm 31. I've probably had, I don't know, 4 like hard resets on my life where I'm moving somewhere else or doing something else. Like I'm talking hard reset, life flipped upside down, everything's changed. So, I mean, if you're 18 and you feel that way, then it's completely natural. All right, we'll see if this works. The camera's doing better. Camera's not lagging. No audio.
Okay. How's this? Is it better?
Yeah, no lag.
Okay, nice. There we go. Had to switch the phone for that, huh? Which is now almost out of battery. So yeah. Um, Pulling in different directions. You made a good point about being 18. That's normal to be pulled in different directions when you're 18. I mean, I think that's pretty normal. So yeah. Um, what you have to do in this particular regard, sorry about the photo guys, is that you have to find your purpose, obviously. What it is that you want to accomplish, where you want to accomplish things, what you want to do. And this is kind of hard to do at 18. So um find a skill, obviously, a profitable one, and stick to it. Don't believe that whole you follow your passion thing. you know you have to imagine how many times in your lifetime, I don't know how many people do it, but me, I've changed career like entirely from like what I've actually learned, what I'm actually doing. It's night and day differences. So you got to count on that too. And they were saying there was like some studies, some research showing that like by the time a person is 38, they've changed career fields entirely at least one time. you
Hmm.
know So focus, do something that makes money. It doesn't have to be passionate. You don't have to love it. You just got to love the money. Okay.
Yeah. Then you'll start to love whatever you're doing.
Exactly. So love the money it brings in, and then you'll become passionate about whatever it is that you're going to be doing. And I think that's your focus right now is start looking for like, what career fields, directions, whatever, something you have an aptitude to for. Because
Hmm.
it's like there's some people I know they're working in construction, they should definitely be mechanics. And there's
Hmm.
people who are mechanics that I know that they should be cooks.
you know? So,
Yeah, do what you're good at, not what
yeah,
you love.
exactly. So if you have an aptitude for it, whether you love it or not, find out what is related to your aptitude and makes money and get into it. Yeah. But now I can't see the Discord, so I can't get the rest of the questions.
I got them. Move on to the next one. Ways to keep our kids and nephews and nieces away from fitna and bad influences.
Ooh, this is an important one in the West.
Yes. More important now than ever.
I've
I
seen
mean,
multiple
I'd
cases.
say the
Mhm.
I would say first and foremost, like really goes for anything and the previous things we talked about is figure out a way to get mobile and independent.
Indeed.
Get a be making that Wi-Fi money and have the ability to travel anywhere you want. Because if if you're in the West and you're having that issue, you got to get out of the West, or at least have the ability to have your kids homeschooled, take them out of school, away from all that gay, LGBT, transgender crap that they're trying to shove down everybody's throat. I
Yeah,
can't
absolutely.
believe some of the things that I see, and it's like, and all these news articles, they'll be like, oh, there was a drag queen, this and that, with kids involved or something, and it'll be like a parent complained about it. Like, are you kidding me? I would be going nuts if that happened. But
Yeah.
I complained about it, so maybe it'll change now.
Oh man. No. I mean, the only ones that are really putting up any real show of resistance and whatnot, it seems to be the Muslims. But I don't think it's enough. I mean, these people are obviously relentless. They don't stop. Sorry, guys, my battery's going empty on my phone, so I got to plug it in. And how can you protect them? There's two ways, in my opinion. One, Abu Malik, he said it himself, homeschool. This it all requires work. Nothing's going to become easy again. There's no cookie cutter solution. First is homeschool, and actually, Abu Malik has a homeschool program. You can look into that. I homeschooled my first two kids; they turned out very well, alhamdulillah. And educate them in the way that you want and need them to be educated as a parent or a family member. Second is being everything that a person or a man should be, so that you are the example and not society. If you do the work and you become the man that you're supposed to be, why would they not take you as an example? If they look at somebody else's life and they're like, God, this person's always, and you can literally say unabashedly, unashamedly, look at their life. This person's confused. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they want. They don't even know what gender they are. I said, and then, take a look at what I'm doing. I got my life in order. This is good. This is good. How would you rather live? Confused about your gender? Or would you rather live a life like I'm living right now, where I can take care of you, I can take care of family, we can go do things, we can be happy, we can, you know what I mean? Be the example that they would want to see and be, you know?
Yeah,
All these
and
bad influences. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and the West has no idea what they're doing. I see all these complaints about this and that, blah blah blah, and I can think of a hadith for every one of them. Like
Yeah.
the whole abortion thing. I see people complaining about that all the time. I even had on my street before I got back in town, my wife texted me like, "Oh, I was thinking about going to the store, but there's this huge feminist rally outside." So a
Mhm.
bunch of feminists showed up, trashed the whole street, spray painted everything. Like, how is this even allowed? You think that
Yeah.
would happen somewhere in the Middle East? No, because A, the women are happy. B, that just is shouldn't even be permissible. It's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, be the example Islamically, dunya wise, whatever else that that they can look up to and be like, yeah, you know what? My uncle, man, he's killing it, and I want to be like my uncle. And do stuff that makes it so that they can actually walk into it. Like, say, hey, you know what? If you get good grades, I'll give you a summer job at the company and I'll pay you so and so much money. Like if maybe you're self-employed or whatever else. make it so you're in a position where it's like they can actually like see the results of actually putting in a life of work that pays off in the end. So say, hey, you know what? If you get good grades, you do like this. And even if they don't like really good grades or whatever else, you still want to try and encourage them. You don't want to break them. So but you got to find ways to like actually like positively influence them. But you can't do it if you just like some regular dude in McDonald's. They can be that too. You know, if you work, and I know there's a lot of brothers in London, especially these London brothers. They do it. They work in security. Hey, that's great. But if you're not the head of security, that kid can finish school and get in the same job as you can. So be something that they need to look up to, that they want to look up to, that they can look up to, and that's one of the primary ways. Was there any more questions?
There's how to be focused in knowing your goals in life and working to achieve them. Financial advice for young men. I mean, that's kind of like the same of what we already
yeah.
touched on.
Financial advice for young men: don't be spending money on dumb stuff. I'll tell you that right now.
True. And you don't need to, as a young man, you don't need to flex a Rolex and a nice car and a Lambo on everybody.
Yeah, exactly. That's dumb stuff when you're young. I mean, it's nice if you're making a crap ton of money. Okay, cool. But if you're just a regular dude getting started off, that's like totally unnecessary. Yeah. Just basic financial. Make sure your income is greater than your outgoings. It's really not complicated stuff. It's not rocket science.
I've done it myself. I bought all kinds of crazy things, and I'm wearing a Rolex right now. And honestly, I had to get it out of my system, but it gets boring really fast.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've got like a few things I personally will spend cash on, but it's like it's very specific and it brings me joy to my life. It actually improves the quality of my life. Like my Sauron. I have a Sauron. It's like an electric motorcycle. Bro, I'd have probably lost my mind if I didn't have that thing. Sometimes I just went out and rode that thing for hours. It just cleared my head, gave me like physical activity to top it off. If it's something that has a benefit to you in the sense that it aids you in your mental sanity or your like the quality of your life. When I say quality of your life, I mean your mental state. I jump into it. But it's like, if it's just some goofy stuff, like I want to get a PS4 or PS5 or whatever the heck the latest thing is. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean, like Andrew Tate always talks about like his cars, and because that's what he likes to do. Like that's how he rewards himself, is going out.
Yeah, you can see when he's driving. You see he enjoys himself in videos.
Yeah. Like to me, I went on a watch kick for a while where I was like obsessed with watches. So I was buying all these watches, and then it just like kind of died off. And then like a couple months ago, I went on this cologne thing, and I bought a bunch of new colognes, and that already died off. And I'm like, okay, I just gotta I don't really care about that type of thing anymore. I mean, I've recently bought some like books, but that's about it. That's just to help me with my studies.
I had to fight to buy this. This is like a garment. I had to really fight myself to get it. I really was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and do it. Because I started exercising again and everything, and it has actually some excellent tracking in terms of your fitness. So, it's hard for me to do some things. Other things, man, I'll just throw money out. Someone will think I'm like an insane nut job. Like my Sauron parts, I'll be like, I just spent like 1,500 on my Sauron, yesterday, and I'm going to do it again tomorrow. And they're like, the heck, dude, are you crazy? Yeah. So yeah, but I ride that thing. I ride it almost daily. I love it to death. And it brings me mental sanity. I think that's probably the best we can do on that question.
Yeah, and another thing too, which I've felt recently, I just mentioned it earlier. Like my apartment, if I could take my camera around, like I have enough stuff in my apartment to entertain me for life. Like it's ridiculous the amount of stuff that I have, and I've never been that way. This is the first time I've ever had more than anything that can fit in a suitcase. And but that physical, it's not clutter, it's very organized, but that physical clutter creates mental clutter.
Gotcha.
I'm like, I gotta like start getting rid of this stuff.
Yeah. I don't like that either. My house, I feel like I have too much stuff in my house, and I don't really have much of anything. Yeah, I understand that entirely.
Yeah, I've always been a minimalist, but then it started whenever I furnished my apartment, and then I was like getting this, and then I get the computer set up, and I get a big TV, and I have 2 couches here, I've got a bunch of crap at my house. Like it's
Yeah.
just I've got probably 20 beds that I own. It's ridiculous.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
bro. When I
well,
had to
I
leave
mean, they're
Qatar,
for a purpose, but
yeah,
like
yeah.
in
When
my
I had to
apartment,
leave Qatar, it took me like 3 months to get rid of my whole house, and I didn't even realize I had so much stuff.
yeah, yeah. Don't burden yourself with that at all.
Yeah,
But yeah, the
absolutely.
next one, we have generally talking about current world climate, news, future, Tate, red pill, feminism, Islam. I think news and current affairs is a very addictive topic because people want an alternative alpha translation of the current news stories instead of listening to mainstream lies. Here's your alpha translation for current world climate. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you concern yourself with what the West is up to? I couldn't care less about the affairs of the West. Ooh,
Yeah, yeah,
Ukraine. Oh, Trump's getting arrested. Biden. Blah, 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 blah. I don't care. How does that affect me?
exactly. Doesn't change your life tomorrow. 90% of the world affairs doesn't change your life tomorrow. And if it would you be prepared anyway? Most of this stuff that people are worrying about, they wouldn't have to worry about it if they were taking care of what they were supposed to be. If you were handling your business, making the money you were supposed to be making, like doing all this type of stuff, all these world affairs wouldn't worry. Because when things go down, you're going to be prepared. Like you should have been preparing already. So it doesn't make sense to really talk about that. The topic there, the discussion there is: have you done what's necessary to make sure you're prepared financially, physically, mentally, or have you not?
Mm,
Talking about it isn't going to do anything. Okay, you talked about it, and then it happens tomorrow. Now what? You talked about it. It doesn't happen tomorrow. Now what? You still got to get up and go to work. You still got to get up and like make sure your life is like together, right? So
mhm.
talking about it makes zero sense.
Doesn't matter at all.
Nope.
We all know what's going on,
Yeah.
and there's no point in talking about it. And you shouldn't even concern yourself. I mean, I stopped reading the news a long time ago, but you shouldn't even concern yourself with the affairs of the West.
Yeah.
It's a declining, dead society full of degeneracy. We all know it, and it's not going to change anytime soon.
Yep, it's coming apart at the hinges. It's coming apart at the seams, the West. So
Yeah, and the people that live in it are mentally coming apart at the seams. So anyway, I don't have anything else to say about that.
yeah, me either. So we got a question. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Halal stocks to consider hijra to Turkey. I'll take the stocks thing. I mean,
Please do. I can't talk about Hijra to Turkey. I mean, we have a group in there specifically where brothers are like, will help you like make moves to Turkey. So I would say if you're interested, come and talk to those brothers. I can't help with that. I live in Germany. I am looking myself for a place to go, so I can't really help with that. Our brother here, mashallah, he can definitely help you with what we'll call it
yeah,
with
the hijra
with
nomad.
stocks. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Hijra
then
nomad.
yeah,
Yeah.
stocks. I mean, that's kind of a do your own research type thing, though. I do have a brokerage firm that's Sharia compliant based out of the UAE. So if you want to like DM me about that, I can talk. I don't think I can send voice notes there because somebody asked about
Yeah.
like how like certain aspects or products, trading products, are whether they're halal or not, and
Mhm.
so you do need to consider a few things there, but um, yeah, I mean, as long as the company is not some weird company doing weird things.
There you go.
But yeah,
So
if anybody wants to talk about a Sharia compliant uh, brokerage account, hit me up.
there you go. So this brother says here, Assalamu alaikum. I had a question about joining the syndicate membership. I do SMMA/digital marketing. Will joining help me find clients that are Muslim? Potentially. I mean, we got brothers that run businesses. Um, they're mostly crossover from the men's community. But those brothers that are in the men's community, they're generally like killing it already. Like we got a brother in there, he runs like a construction engineering business. He's like he's making over 1 million now. Would he be interested? Potentially. we got brothers in there that got businesses and whatever else that might be able to make use of that. It's not many. But we're trying to change that. We're trying to get brothers in there that actually can and do stuff. I don't mean to be rude, but I'm going to talk like Andrew Tate here. I don't want losers in there. I don't want brokies in there. Because what are you going to teach me? I'm 50 years old. I'm more than happy to learn from anybody. If you figured it out at 23, the cash game, cash flow game, I'm going to listen to you. But what I can't do is I can't learn from somebody who doesn't have anything together. So
and
if you can come in, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
That's also like don't come in with the mindset of take. What can I take from this? It's what can I give? Because you'll receive much more in return if you come in with a giving mentality instead of a taking one.
Yeah. I mean, we can give you a platform, put your stuff out there, and then bring people in, man. And people might find multiple things that they're looking for also, So think of it like this. You come in, you have the opportunity to actually make money there also because you're a marketer. We give you an affiliate link, boom, bring people in. Maybe they'll find something else. If they're not finding something, then you actually have the opportunity to double cash in. Okay, I got people in, I'm making money there. And then to top it off, I can potentially turn them into clients. There's always got to be creative. You're a marketer. So, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Now you got a job.
There you go.
Come in and get an affiliate link.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers. In your Discord group, are people looking for developers to build an app? Ideas they have. Man, I'm so put off by just programmers in general. I've been burned so many times by programmers. I'm not really sure. I mean, we've got one brother that's actually, he's a developer, does the Discord for us. He does the tech stuff for us. I don't know, to be honest. I'm sure. I don't know. I haven't seen anybody asking, but there's a lot of questions that I miss because I'm busy. I'm writing, a lot lately, so I haven't been super active inside the groups, but I do read everything eventually, so I haven't caught up on all the messages. There might be people in there. If there are people watching right now that are in the group, raise your hand, let them know, inshallah. Abuamerican, are you still on TRT? Yes, I am. I've heard it affects fertility. We'll get into that. Do you take or have to take something to compensate the side effect?
I actually have something. I don't remember what it's called. That compensates for that.
There is. Okay, so this is a bifurcated question. It's obviously two questions, but within that question, there's two answers. So, can TRT affect fertility? It can, but generally it doesn't because TRT is super low doses. Now, if you are a steroid user, and understand what's going to make the difference here, because you're taking the same substance. So, let's say you take Sustanon 250. You can use Sustanon 250 or Sustanon 270 as TRT. What makes it not steroids is the dosage. So TRT, obviously, you know what this is bringing up your levels to normal levels. So you're taking very low doses. I'm taking less than 1 milligram in a week. It's next to nothing. But you'll find steroid users will take that every other day. So now his testosterone levels are 10,000 times higher than normal. Fertility is affected there. Your fertility just shuts down. TRT, less so. It can happen, but it doesn't necessarily happen. My wife here, we've been together 6 months. And she's pregnant. She's going to have my 10th kid. I'm on TRT. Now, you can counteract this. If you find that fertility or, let's just be direct, you're not satisfied with your climax, there's a stuff called HCG, human goglipin something, and that will, it most likely is. CG. You can inject that, HCG, and that will bring up your natural production again, and that will bring up your natural, sperm count also. You could take HCG even when you're not on testosterone. You could take it, guys who just have naturally low testosterone or they're not producing sperm properly, they give them HCG. You could take this as a supplement to increase your natural sperm production, and it produces healthier sperm. So that is a possibility that you can do. Now, obviously, what you need to do is you need to get advice from an endocrinologist, okay? I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. This is just what I know. So if you want professional help, like real professional help, you need to talk to an endocrinologist. Okay. But that's just general information that I know. But consult an expert, consult a doctor. Don't take this as medical advice. I'm not a medical practitioner of any sort, way, shape, or form. I refer back to an endocrinologist for my particular case. So you should do the same, inshallah.
We've got one more. I just don't want to leave it out. Stock algos and WACF system for Muslim startups.
Mark, thanks, man. MOD, man, you gotta come on and do a show, bro. Hey, the next one you gotta come on, bro. We gotta have you on here, bro. My man, I love this dude, man. I talk to this guy on WhatsApp regularly, man. This is my dude. Yeah. So, sorry. Go ahead. What was you saying?
We have one more: stock algos and WACF system for Muslim startups.
Okay.
Stock algos. I'll say one thing about algos, having written 2 or 3, I think. Yeah, 3 myself back in like 2015, when I was getting started as a stockbroker, is that with algorithms, you might write one based on, let's say, for example, momentum indicators, but the second you put it live, there's going to be another algo or robot that recognizes it, and it's 1 millisecond ahead of it. So they're
Oh, wow.
basically pointless. So I wouldn't even don't even waste your time with them.
Let me ask you your opinion on this. How do you think AI is going to affect this in the future?
I don't know. I mean, I like to say that it's got it's one of those things that needs a human touch to it. I know the system very, very well. I don't think that AI would ever be able to completely take over like any sort of trading. I know they're definitely going to implement it somehow. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I've been like really delving deep into this AI thing and like in the money making in AI. It's pretty smart, but it sometimes it tends to give you. It's like I don't want to be the guy that I was telling everybody not to be, like looking for cookie cutter solutions, whatever else. But sometimes it has some very good suggestions when you like start asking very pointed questions on how to increase sales and whatever else, or like how to make more money. Like I have a business that's not related to Abuamerican or anything like this. It's just completely. I don't talk about it and whatever else, and it's like, yo, your website's really good, this, that, the other. You should this, that, the. I said, hey, tell me a plan to like make more money. They gave me like 12 points, bro. I was like, some of this stuff is pretty good.
Did
Some
you
of it's
see
like
that?
just real general.
You see that guy on Twitter that posted on GPT-4? He said, "I have
Yeah,
$100. Your name is Hustlebot or something like that,
yeah, yeah.
Hustlerbot."
That's
And
exactly where I got the idea from.
yeah, and he got. I was like, I got to try that out and just see what happens, but let's bump the money up. Like anybody
Yeah.
can. Most people, I think, could probably afford $100. Like, what if I say I've got $10,000? What's it gonna say?
Yeah. No, I told him my budget for my website, and it was like, yo, it gave me 12 points to do and follow. Some of it was like I was already on, but some of the stuff I was like, oh man, why didn't I think about that? You know what? I'm like, dang, that's pretty good. So
This guy in 3 days had, I think by day 2, this new company that the AI helped him to create was valued at $25,000. I think he had like 8K in the bank almost. He got 50,000 plus Twitter followers from it. And I think CNN Newsroom contacted him to do a piece about it. So just for posting on Twitter that he had $100, start a business for me, and doing a thread.
well, we are talking about incorporating AI into the syndicate as a tool for the members there. Because if you use the more upgraded, powerful tool of the AI, it's not free. So we're looking at like adding that for members who go premium, to where it's like you don't have to worry about that. You can use it actually in the syndicate, just as is as a part of the actual Discord. We're looking into it. I'll let you guys know what we decide, but it's definitely something that's coming in the future. There's a cost associated to us for it, of course. So we got to look. We already raised the price once. If I bring this in, I'll probably raise the price again. If you
Yeah,
get
the
in,
price
like I
is
said,
gonna keep
huh?
going up.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going back down. So that $10 is gone forever. So if you got in at $10 and you're here at $10, you stay in at $10. If you leave and come back, you're coming back at the new price.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be the same thing here. So when I say, hey, we got the AI working, whatever else, and that the other, oh, can I get it at $10? No, you can't. I don't want to hear about it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And just real quick to hit on that last point, the Waqf for Muslim startups, like endowment funds, I guess. I don't know if he's asking if we do that or if there's any suggestions for it. I mean,
I must be missing questions here or something. I
do
don't
you
know.
want to take that one
Is this in the live chat or is this on Discord?
on the Discord with
Okay, yeah. This laptop is like I gotta put more memory in. I closed it. Let me open it up and see if I can get it. So what is he saying? I gotta open this thing again.
the it just says Waqf system for Muslim startups, like
Mm.
like a like an, I guess, like an endowment funds.
Yeah, I remember that. I mean, I'm down to doing stuff like that. It's just, you know, I am and I'm not.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm at the point where it's like, yo, it's got to be. I'm not gonna lie, it's got to be profitable for me. I'll put in work, I'll put in effort, I'll put in like sometimes if I can't put in effort or work because I don't have the skills, I can just put in money, you know, because that takes work and effort and skill also. I got to go make it. But it just sounds like what it sounded like to me. I'm not being rude. I understand his idea. People do it. It basically just sounds like, okay, I want a bunch of people to finance my business. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And
Unless there's
yeah,
some sort of thing we can do if there's not already one existing, like perhaps like a explicitly like Salafi
yeah,
endowment fund or something like that. There
yeah.
might be one out there. I've never looked into it.
We can look into it, but it's not really. I think that's outside the purview of something I want to do. I can't do everything.
Yeah.
We can't just do everything. This goes back to like that young man asking earlier. He's 18. I get pulled left. I get pulled right. All this stuff sounds good, but then when you really look at it, it's like we have to focus on what we're good at, what we can make work. You know.
Mhm.
So it's like for us right now, the primary drive is making sure the syndicate improves. We improve the quality of the content, increasing the content, increasing the membership. Going into other fields like this sounds more like something that you should be able to do within the group, because there's people in there who are determined and driven. They don't have to think twice about 33 cents a day. They can just like throw that out there. So these are people actually you can talk to and say, hey, you know what? This is an idea I have. What's the reality? How's the reality? How can we make this happen? So this is where, self-actualization, this goes back to the entire topic here. Dudes can't do everything for you. This is something you're going to have to build. We can give you a platform of quality guys to help build it with, because inside there's not going to be guys that are just going to try and shoot your ideas down. There's not going to be guys in there. These are going to be guys who actually have experience, who have knowledge, and who have the capacity to actually say, hey, you know what? Is this an idea? Is this a good idea? Is it a bad idea? Make use of it, you know?
Yeah. And I kind of want to touch on this too, Sultan in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go off topic. What kind of assets would you advise someone in their late 20s with six figures in savings to move their money into? Property, index one, small tail, e-com. Put it into yourself, first of all, if you're not doing that. So start a business, because in the index fund, that's going to give you a few $1,000s a year in dividends and let's say 8% a year. It's not going to be life changing. Property depends on where. Uh, Small scale ecom. I've never really been into ecom. I tried it out years and years ago, and I was like, "Yeah, this isn't for me." Um, put it in yourself and start a business, and make sure it's a business where preferably you're mobile and it's bringing in passive income every month. It's semi-passive income.
Definitely something scalable, you know,
Mm-hmm.
where you're not like investing a whole bunch of hours, and you can only scale as far as the hours in the day that you have as a human being.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I would say. because
Oh,
I was in the same situation, and I'm just like, what am I gonna do next? Start a business. I mean, what else are you gonna do really? Put it away like a nerd in a bank account and just keep doing whatever else you're doing. No, do something
yeah.
different with it. Try something
Yeah.
out. If it doesn't work, just know that you're gonna make the money back.
Yeah, if you're not working your money, if you just put it in the bank, it's depreciating. You're just losing money. So you need to put it into something that actually makes you more money. You know, because inflation is crazy, especially now. So with every day that inflation goes up, I don't know if it's going up daily, but as inflation goes up, the actual value of what you're storing in a bank is going down. You
Mhm.
know, so you need to make sure that at least whatever you're investing in or you're working on or in terms of your business, it's producing at as a minimum like more than what the inflation is. Sort of like your job if you're going to work a job, you know. So
Mhm.
yeah, something along those lines. Inshallah.
Yeah. Do we have anything else to touch?
I really don't. We've been on for an hour. I think we covered all the questions. Um, yeah, I'm going to be back on tomorrow, guys, with the one-to-one consultations. I'm going to do it in the evening. I'll be here again, so I guess I'm doing it from my phone since this computer is acting all crazy. And yeah, oh, nice, Gordo, my homie. All my homies hate fractional reserve banking. Did you see my tweet, Gordo? I said we should stop calling it fractional reserve banking at this point and just call it fictional reserve banking.
Yeah, seriously.
It's quite literally, it's just that bad, man. It's fictional reserve banking. It always has been actually, but hey, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
They ain't the homies if they like fractional reserve banking.
Yeah.
It's impossible. Yeah. No, I ain't got nothing else. That's what I got going on tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll be back. I'll be doing the Q&A, consultations. And you got anything going on, bro?
I'm finally back from my travels, so I'm gonna get a little more vocal in the groups now, inshallah.
Okay.
And I gotta catch up on my stuff. And yeah, I mean, you want to get on next Saturday?
Yeah, we can make it Saturday. So I'll do my consultations on Sunday or Friday. I'll see what's better because I think a lot of guys are live. I think there's I think Mehdi's on Friday, and then you got MOD is he's on Friday. So I'll probably do Sundays, because we have some overlap with crowds. So let me take a look at that, and I'll probably be on Sundays, but we can come on constantly and consistently on Saturdays about this time.
All right, cool. Sounds good.
No, inshallah. And if you guys want like any topics or subjects, let us know in the Discord. Discord guys get priority, of course. Here's what it is. That's the crew. They the homies. And drop it in the comment section if there's something you want to hear. And if it's like definitely some quality information, quality content, we'll look at it, inshallah. Now, barakallahu for tuning in. And we'll see your brothers next week, inshallah. All right. Salam alaikum.
So